So I guess my question is, who's paying for that? Because they either have to raise taxes or cut spending to cover your stimulus checks. Anybody disagree with that? And they're not doing either one. So what are they going to do? They're just going to print it. And they're going to tax all of you by devaluing the dollar. And you're going to see price inflation. You're going to see cost inflation. You're already seeing it at the stores, aren't you?
Yes.
So let's give you an example. When I worked at McDonald's back in the 80s, a number one value meal was $3.35. Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. What is it now? Does anybody know?
It's like $12, I think.
I think it's at least 8 something. I don't know. Yeah. So what's gone up and what's gone down? So what is inflation? It's not price inflation, because prices just go up and down. They don't inflate and deflate. Yeah. It's the money supply. Okay. Anybody remember Furbies? Yeah, how about Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you invested $100,000 in either one of those. How much money would you get today for them? What's your Furby collection or your Beanie Baby collection probably worth today?
No idea.
Probably rotted or broke. Not a big demand for that stuff right now that I'm aware of, because they made so many of them. And they made so many special editions of them, and they basically inflated the number of Beanie Babies. What about the spinner things? Remember the fidgety things? You couldn't get those when they first came out, could you? Now, everybody gonna go pay extra money for one of those? Probably find one out in the parking lot if you look hard enough. I don't know. Okay. Thanks for that healthy debate, everybody that's quiet. How about basic universal income? Should we get that or not? I mean, ideally we would want that. That's kind of cool. But what are we giving up does the government ever really give us anything for free? There's always strings attached to it. Okay, even for my son who has Downs, he has to jump through a lot of hoops to get his benefits, to get his public aid, to do all that stuff. It's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of headaches initially. Okay. So, all right, are taxes theft? Ooh.
Theft by the government?
Huh?
Theft by the government?
I feel like taxed overtime is, but I don't think taxes are.
Really? Okay. So if you don't pay your taxes, police show up. Or you can pay your taxes and you say, I don't have any money, we take you to jail or garnish your wages, use force. What did the government do to earn that money? What does the government produce?
Protection for the nation.
Yeah, they should. I mean, that's constitutional. They should do that. But does anybody know when the Constitution word talks about stimulus checks? Okay. So just think about that. So I'm going to mention 2 books, and I want to see if anybody's at least familiar with them or can give me a quick snapshot of what these were. One of these is my new favorite book, which is Brave New World by Huxley. Anybody familiar with that book? You are?
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about it? What's it about?
it's basically a society where every need is fulfilled.
Yeah, cradle to grave, the government takes care of you.
Yeah, but it's also like stratified so that people fulfill certain facets of society.
So they actually breed you to be an alpha.
Yeah, alpha.
Alpha's the
beta,
top one, beta.
Beta, gamma, and delta.
And if you're an epsilon, what are you doing for your job?
Slave, basically.
Yeah, you're out there cleaning toilets, aren't you?
Yeah.
And if you get excited or panicked or emotional, what do you take?
Soma.
Soma.
Oh my God.
Yep. And they actually give you these Soma pills. And you take these pills anytime you feel anxious or anything. So you live in a world without stress. and you're grouped in with a group of people that are all bred the same way you are. And they actually go into the embryos and they damage them to make epsilons. Make sure we get enough people at the bottom. Very interesting book. Peacock or one of those things did the movie version of it. They took a lot of liberties, but it's not bad. It's very raunchy. It's like what we used to call rated X.
I
It's,
mean, there was a lot of like raunchy stuff in the books as well.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Orwell. What book did he write?
1984.
1984, yeah. And if you kind of want to see what some of us are fortifying against and not are worried about, is better, not fortifying against. Those are two really good novels. They're both on YouTube if you just want to listen to them. If you got some windshield time, pop them on, listen to them. I highly encourage you to do either one if you're not familiar with them, but Brave New World, definitely. So in light of what I'm talking about here and about rugged individualism, what are we seeing happen in New York and California? Are people moving into those states? Are they moving out of those states? They're moving here, aren't they? Driving up your property rates and taking your jobs. Commies. Why?
They're scared.
Getting their, the best of them over there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're heavily taxed. They're heavily regulated. Elon Musk just left. Who's Elon Musk? SpaceX guy, Tesla guy, yeah. A lot of the companies are leaving there. They're moving to Texas or you'll see some California license plates roll through here. Either they're on vacation or they're moving here. And what scares me is they're gonna move to get away from high taxes and government control, and then they're gonna run for city council and put high taxes and government control in. Let's hope we're wrong with that.
Was the government gonna follow those businesses out too for like 10 years past or something?
They're trying to tax them, yeah. Illinois wants to tax. I left Illinois, but they're wanting to tax you after you leave. How comforting is that? You know, when you receive benefits while you were here, the road, everything else, these debts are actually accredited to you, so you have to pay for these after you leave. It's kind of scary. Okay, so we're gonna do, hopefully, slides will work. Gotta be kidding.
Do you want me to keep recording?
Yeah, you can take a break for a while if you want.